Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you today? A happy Eid for you. It was a hot one, wasn't it? But look, it's that time of year, isn't it? Right, okay, so here is your monthly salary. As always, each month I will give you the rundown of what's going on in the market. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's look at active listings that are currently on the short-let market. Now, according to AirDNA, there are currently 23,544 active entire place listings in Dubai. We've been closely tracking this trend, and as you can see, this represents a 30.8% increase in available stock compared to May 2024, and a whopping 74.4% increase compared to May 2023. So as you can see, with this huge level of increase year on year for the last 2 years, this could mainly be put down to the fact that the short-let position has become more popular in Dubai, of course, with the tourism level increases. But of course, this means tougher competition for your property. So we need to make sure that the pricing strategy is correct. And that's why we are so proactive with making sure that the pricing for a 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 4 months are correctly priced, especially now going into low season. The market is incredibly competitive, as we can see with the level of units available. And of course, when temperatures are reaching over 50 degrees, the tourism market drops 95%. So this is why we're being very proactive in making sure that the prices are correct to secure your bookings, to make sure the revenue keeps coming in. Right, and then let's move on to occupancy. I'm happy to report AirDXB, especially for the month of May, because it is one of those tougher months, just like September. It's almost that transition out of low season into high season. But we actually hit 90% occupancy as an average across the portfolio, against a market average of 63%. So quite a substantial increase from us there, which is great. And now on to some fantastic news, and all of this is being done to make sure we get full exposure for your property, to make sure that the occupancy is retained at a high level, to make sure that we're pushing as hard as we can to make you the most of money. As I've said, with the tough competition coming, we need to be thinking outside the box, and we are. So I'm happy to report that we've now partnered up with TravelStaytion to give your property that extra push into the global marketplace. Let's talk about booking lead time. So what's going on? Of course, things are changing as we're coming into summer. So 46% of guests book within 7 days, 40% in the next 30 days, and 14% 30 days plus. Now, these days frames will be stretched out over summer. We find a lot more people book a lot further in advance. The average last year was around 23 days. So I would expect when we get into June, you'll see that similar time frame. And again, this goes back to the point I was making before. We need to make sure that we get the pricing right, because if people are booking further in advance, what we don't want to do is have a high price that puts them off. We want to have the right price to get you the booking to secure your income. Okay, right, so pricing, let's drill down on that a bit more. So from a pricing perspective, May was the shift into the mid to low season, with rates lowering as expected. June marks the beginning of the low season, and we anticipate prices will remain on the lower side throughout the summer months, which is completely expected when you see these temperatures soar as high as they are. So those of you that have been with us over the past 6 or 7 years, even those that were with us last year, know this, that every short-term rental market is cyclical, and of course Dubai is no exception. However, come October, things begin to change. As temperatures cool down, tourism heats up, so bringing stronger demand and higher rates. It is a familiar seasonal pattern, and one that we are well prepared for, and one that we will make sure we get through the best that we can for you. Let's talk a bit about the market in general, what's going on, because it is changing. It is changing aggressively. Now, for those of you that watched my video called The Big Short, which we put out last month. If you haven't watched it, please watch it. We've had almost 30,000 views on it and some phenomenal feedback, where all we do is drill down into some more figures which perhaps aren't being talked about as much as they should be. But since that time, things have changed again. So according to a recent report covered by Kidliji Time, Dubai's property market is expected to experience a price correction, a word I keep hearing, but I think that word is too light. After an extended period of growth. So is it a correction? I mean, I think when you start talking about these level of percentages, it's a bit more aggressive than that. So another report came out by Fitch Ratings. They are forecasting a potential decline of up to 15% on property values between 2025 and 2026, following the 60% surge in prices in 2022. Another recent report that came out from Cavendish Maxwell, they released their real estate report highlighting off-plan sales now dominates sales transactions with 68.9%. 68.9% of sales transactions are off-plan, which is a huge figure. It really is. So the secondary market is obviously taking a hit here. And they also confirmed in this report that transactions in general are down by 10% across the real estate sales market size. So one of the main drivers behind this outlook is the sharp rise in supply. I've seen lots of different articles, but the general forecast is 300,000 units in the next 32 to 33 months, which is huge, absolutely huge. And I understand that about 25,000 handed over this year. So if we're already seeing these changes happen after 25,000 units handing over, there's a hell of a change coming shortly. So Fitch estimates that Dubai's housing stock will grow by 16%, while the population growth is expected to increase by just 5% over the same period. That translates to more than 210,000 new units entering the market in the next 2 years alone. Follows on from what I was saying, because I was saying around 300,000 in the next 3 years. So this is absolutely huge. There is a huge market change happening. There is a huge amount of supply coming in, and by the looks of things, the market can't take it. So be aware of this. Also in Cavendish Maxwell's report, they've confirmed now that 70%, 70 with a 7, of rental transactions are renewals. That is huge. So what does that mean? There's a lot of empty property. I will be releasing another video on The Big Short where we confirm what we're seeing as a company, but we are seeing a lot of homeowners now coming to us saying that they cannot achieve long-term rental amounts they were promised by real estate brokers. A lot are now coming saying they can't even get offers because there's just so much stock going into this market. So this then reinforces what I have been saying now for a long time. Staying in short let gives you that control. If we are entering into a market change, now I'm saying if we are, we already are. We have entered into a market change. Having control over your property is absolute key. If you now listen to these various different reports that are coming out, they're estimating 10, 15, 20% drops. Could even be more than that, given the figures. You may now choose to sell your property. You want to release that capital. Having a property that is chain free, which means there's no tenant in there, the buyer can get possession immediately, is huge. That value is massive because all the other competition is rented. So the minute you have something like that, you will go to the top of that buyer's list. So stay in short term, just to feel out this market to see where it's going, let alone all the other pros that it offers, whether you want to stay on it, your family stay on it, etc., etc., etc. That is a general roundup from me. As I said, please have a look at the Big Short video I've already done because there's some phenomenal data in there, and please have a look at the one that I'll be releasing. The market is changing, and it's changing for the worst. And we are at the start of this. But otherwise, from AirDXB, really positive stuff. Teaming up with TravelStaytion, maintaining our high occupancy levels. Yes, summer is tough. I will say it. I say it every year. It's horrible. We as a firm don't like it either. Obviously, revenues drop and things like that, but it's where we live. It's the country that we're in, and this is what happens. So we will continue to battle. We'll continue to move forward through this tougher time. We will get through it, and it's only a matter of months before we're back into high season, making far better returns for you. So thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it, and have a wonderful day ahead. Take care. Bye-bye.